welcome back
to the
Sad and Liz podcast.
What did you do?
I did the hearts.
No, we do it like this. That's cooler. How do the Korean people do it? You taught me.
Oh.
Like this, yeah. I thought that was a kiss, but it's a heart.
I think it's also a kiss. No, it's a kiss heart. Like the emoji.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So guys, I first of all wanted to start this video off by saying I have a new favorite TikToker.
Oh, yeah.
And her name is Diera the Root Worker. I listen, I don't know, I think I butchered her name. I love her. I feel like she's like the spiritual person. She removes black magic, I think.
Yeah, and what is like? Tell them what her TikTok is about.
So she has a conspiracy theory for everything. Okay, she says like, okay, if your child stutters, your mother took your father from another woman. That's why your child stutters. I'm like, oh my god,
yeah.
No
so
way.
Like every
I'm like believing everything.
Yeah. Liz and I were on vacation, and she was laying next to me in bed, and she was like showing me the TikToks, and she was like. I think you were talking about Scorpio. She was talking about Scorpios.
She's a Scorpio,
but in the video she was talking about Scorpio.
Yeah.
She was talking about like a warlock or something, and I've never heard of this word before. Liz is like showing me the video. She's like, "Oh my god, like that means that he's a warlock." And I was like, what is a warlock? And she looks at me.
No, she was talking about, so she said, if your boyfriend or anyone in your life, if they eat and they have to go to the restroom immediately after that, they're a bad person. Because there's no way your stomach cannot hold food like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my god, Sabina, my ex used to have that.
And then she's like, she goes to me, Sabina,
no, listen,
no,
you're not saying it right.
What?
So then they said in the comments, someone said, oh my god, my boyfriend had that. And I figured out that he was a warlock.
Yeah, and then Liz, I'm like, Liz is like, oh my god, he's a warlock. And then I was like, what is a warlock? And she looks at me, she's like, are you stupid? She didn't say, are you stupid? But she was like, look at me like, oh, Sabina, a warlock is someone who has killed a lot of people in war. That's what she said. That's what she said to me.
But I thought that was true, so I said it with confidence.
No, but like you lied to me with so much confidence. Like she was like, "Are you fucking like? Is this like a real
Sabina,
question?"
Like, please, how do you not know?
She's like, a warlock is someone who killed people in war. Like, what kind of question is that?
Yeah.
So then we move on. I was like, okay. We move on, and then
we go to another video.
In another video, she's like explaining what a warlock is, and I look at Liz, and I'm like, a warlock is what is a warlock?
So a warlock is a witch, a male witch. So it's someone that does like witchcraft and stuff.
And I look at Liz, and I'm like, that's not at all what you said.
Guys, all of a sudden, it got very quiet.
Yeah, and Liz, she's like ignoring me. She's like looking at her phone. She's like,
I'm like, I
whatever.
hope Sabina didn't hear that. Okay, and then we have another top favorite right now. Is this girl, and she's also on TikTok, and she just says that you can recognize a man that is abuser by his smile.
Yeah.
But this woman in the first TikTok she did, she was not showing examples of that smile. So everyone was like, no, in the first one, that I saw. And everyone in the comments is like, can you show us examples? And she goes like, go to my website. And I mean, like, you know what? Get that coin, sis. You are better than me. I swear to God, she's smarter than me. But then in the next video, she did it. Show us the smile.
Oh my God.
Sabina is very good at imitating people.
Yeah.
Show us the smile.
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay, I will do it.
No, you're not.
How is it?
Do it. It's like, yeah, you do like something like this. It's like you put your nose up, like so she said basically if a man is abusive, when he laughs his nose goes up or something
like this.
Yeah, something no, not like that, Liz. Like you laugh normally, but the nose goes like that. No, but why did laugh normally? Yeah, something like that. That's not at all what it looks like.
If anything would happen in front of my sister, like an emergency or something, I don't want you to be there.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna start laughing.
What do you mean?
The issue is whenever something serious happens, but Sabina is there and I just look at her face, I just start laughing automatically. I don't know if it's a traumatic response, but I cannot be in serious situations and see Sabina, because I know what this girl is thinking.
You don't know what I'm thinking.
No, I know.
I'm thinking worse than what you're thinking that I'm thinking.
When I'm alone, I don't laugh.
No.
I actually cry.
No. Yeah, you've been crying a lot lately.
I notice I'm very sensitive, guys, but I think you also notice that because I have outbursts on my Instagram.
I thought, what the fuck is going on?
I thought he was carrying an animal.
Yeah, me too.
What's happening in this woods? When you say people with ADHD don't miss people, I realize I have that I don't really miss people. I mean, I don't miss men.
I do
or
miss
women
people.
Either. I miss my mom.
I don't miss men or women.
I miss my mom sometimes.
I get like attached to people I love.
I feel like I get mental breakdowns.
How did we go from I don't miss anyone to I get mental breakdowns?
Because you know why?
So extreme.
You know why? Because of my Instagram. I post too much on my Instagram. I need to stop.
But I feel like that's your like outlet. But you have to watch out. You need to control your emotions.
That's what I learned. I don't need to react out of emotion, you know, because I share too much and I overshare. I overshare so much.
When I'm like very emotional, I can also be very impulsive. I'm like, F everything. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah, but it's like it's easy to be like that if you don't go to your Instagram and start writing essays.
I will
because that
do.
Lives on the internet
no.
forever, you know.
Because I don't want people to know my business.
Yeah, and I just put it all out there for everyone to see.
Yeah, but that's
I've just realized that like everything I've ever said, like even when people come up to me, they watch my videos, I feel like they know everything about me.
Yeah,
and it's such a vulnerable place.
But they don't though.
But like a large part of my life they know.
Yeah, they do.
And I like, for me, like sometimes I think about it like, whoa, you know, when I have that, so when I live, because I live alone, right? When I'm on my own, I can do anything. I don't care, like nothing is real, you know. But when I'm back home, I'm like, ooh, wait a minute, what did I post? What did I share with these people? Sometimes I think that. But you know, I was talking to our friend, and I talked to her about like, you know, sometimes I feel really embarrassed by the things that I shared about my childhood, or you know, how vulnerable I've put myself in a position. Because even I told you this comment that said like, Liz can laugh at in our other podcast video about like we were just making jokes and stuff with like the replies.
The previous video, I'm just gonna address this really fast. The previous video, when we were answering the questions, we weren't laughing at anyone. Yeah, the people who asked the questions, they were laughing in our DMs also, so it's not that deep. And we mentioned a couple times that we were making jokes. Yeah, so don't take everything so seriously, you know. Sometimes you can laugh. You know, if it triggers you, then I'm sorry that triggered you. Yeah. No, but there was a comment that was like, one comment said like, you know, Liz, why are you laughing? Like you can laugh at these questions or whatever, or make jokes from it, but we cannot laugh at your abusive childhood or your disabled brother. And then I was thinking like, what does my disabled brother have to do with me or anything about me? And why would you even want to laugh about a disability? I don't understand that. But then I realized like I've shared too much with these people, to a point where I'm like, I kind of feel like I put myself in such a vulnerable position to be attacked, because people think it's funny. They've made jokes about my mom's abuse. They've made jokes about my abuse. I've seen so many comments like that, right? And okay, like after 3 years of hearing it, you get tough skin. You don't care anymore. And honestly, I didn't care from the beginning. But I was at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop all of this. I'm not going to share anything anymore. I'm just going to keep it professional. And I told my friend this. And my friend, she also comes from an abusive childhood. And she told me, but Liz, do you know how many women you have helped that grew up like that and that feel embarrassed for their situation, and they see you openly talk about it? And then that shifted my perspective, because then I was like, that's what I'm doing, why I'm even doing this, you know? So I think in that position, I'm like, it's good to be vulnerable Yeah, of course. You should always look like at the people you've helped instead of looking at the people who are just like bitter. And why would you come for my disabled brother? That's honestly fucking disgusting.
But I also feel like that's just whatever, okay, whatever.
No, but that's really.
But you know what kind of thing that is? They're waiting to say something because you have thought about
to comfort that.
Because you've thought about it, you know, when can I say something about her disabled brother? Like, bro, you're so weird. That's weird.
That's just like evil. That's malicious.
Yeah, and I don't know why they watch this channel, to be honest. Then I was also thinking, look, because the guys that I meet now and that have interest in me, all these things, they know everything. So I'm in a position where it's like, they can even think like, oh, I can easily manipulate her because she had an abusive childhood, so all these things. That's why I even tell people that watch me, don't tell this to everyone, because they see you as an easy target, you know. Luckily I have very tough skin, so for me it's like whatever, you know, I changed my life around, whatever. But other people, they see that as an easy target. Even if you had like an abusive ex, if you have all these things, they see that as like, oh wow, if she got abused by him, I can do the same. You know. So yeah, and it's like almost like I meet someone and they'll watch my YouTube videos
and they'll
act accordingly.
Yeah.
So it gets to a point where I'm like, I almost don't want to tell anymore what I do.
No, but also like I feel like you know when they're doing that, and then it's just cringe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also dangerous because I had this one guy that really thought like, oh, I can manipulate. She's naive.
But you're not.
I'm a little bit naive, but I clock it. So I notice when someone is like too much, and then I cut it.
But also you don't like anyone.
I'm very picky.
So that won't be a problem.
I wouldn't want to be with a close-minded person. But I also don't want someone to be too much like
open-minded.
No, not too much open-minded. I mean like too emotional. Yeah, like pick me guys. I don't like pick me guys.
Nobody likes pick me guys.
No, but I feel like I attract that constantly.
If I was a guy, yeah, I saw my sister. Just really not. Don't make this.
No,
weird.
You would act cool. You're a Virgo.
I mean,
you wouldn't act like come marry me.
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Pick me guys.
But I feel like when I'm in love, I also don't act cool.
Honestly, guys, I feel like the meaner I am to men, the more they like me. I've noticed this. The minute I became nice to even my ex, he dropped his standards like no tomorrow.
I had the same thing. I had like with my my last boyfriend, I was like always super like distant and very not mean, but not emotional at all. This was a big problem in the relationship. I was not emotional at all. I wasn't like talking about feelings. I just want nothing to do with it. And he would constantly complain about that he would say like, you're really bitchy to me.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm just like being myself. And then what happened was after I started healing myself, and
Sabina became like a butterfly.
I was just floating in the air, you know. I think they saw like in the beginning when we started the podcast, I was like, oh, love and love this and love that. But like you guys haven't seen me like a year before.
Sabina was a real femme fatale.
I was a villain.
The coldest person I knew was Sabina.
A villain. No emotion.
No emotion, nothing.
Severe anger issues. Like the partners I've been with, I think they're traumatized from the relationship I had with them. I was never in love with anybody. Like I didn't like anybody.
But I feel like Virgos never are in real love.
I mean, no, we are.
Really? I once talked to this guy and he was a Virgo and he was like, I just don't really fall in love. I just go for someone that looks good next to me.
We think about that as well, yeah.
I never think, like, does he look good?
I always think like first thing like clean.
Yeah, clean.
Clean is so
and healthy looking.
I love how you say it like in such a like non-cancelable way. Is like healthy looking.
No, really healthy looking is important for me.
Clean. But when I see somebody, I notice everything. I feel like also with men, I don't have much tolerance, especially now. It's like
I've become so mean, guys, to men again, and I'm happy because they treat me better.
Yeah.
When I was nice and I was good to you, you treated me badly. So I'm never being nice again in my life to any man. Literally.
Oh, by the way, I didn't finish my story. So what was I talking? Oh yeah, so I used to be very distant, and I started healing myself. I became not like I wasn't a mean person, but I was very cold. I became like very warm. I talked about my emotions constantly. I was like floating in the air. I thought everything was like amazing. I love the world. I love all people. And then I saw my ex again, and we were having dinner, and I was like being this warm, like loving person, and he looks at me and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "What?" He was like, "I miss the mean Sabina." And then I was like, "What? You were constantly complaining that I was not nice. Then now I'm nice to you."
They want you to be mean because you know why?
And then I never saw him again.
Are uncomfortable with emotions. They've never been taught to get in touch with their emotions, and a lot of men cringe at women that are too emotional. That's why they constantly complain about women being too emotional and all these things, you know.
But I feel like men are emotional.
They are very emotional, but they don't know how to control it at all because they've never been in touch or allowed to be in touch, because that's not how being a man is. So a lot of men are not working on that. So what they want is someone that is as cold as them or is as good at masking the emotions, because that is comfortable for them. Because if you look at a lot of people, they just attract who they are. A lot of toxic men love toxic women. They love mean women because they are not healed, and they will probably never heal because that's not what they think they need.
But I also feel like a lot of women have the same thing.
Yeah, that's why they go together. Like it goes well.
Not emotional.
The more you heal and the more you work on your emotions and all these things, the less partners you will attract. It's hard for you to find a partner.
There's not a lot of like emotional, available or mature people. I've noticed it. No. It's so hard to be with someone who is emotionally unavailable, because it's like you're constantly trying like to get something out of them, you know, like,
and they don't.
Do you even love me? Do you even want to be with me? Yeah. Like, do you even think I'm pretty?
That was funny.